I've seen all these videos on extremely expensive Bluetooth speakers, but there isn't any love for the great budget options. Most of the time, not everyone is going to go out and buy a speaker worth over £100. Well, today I'm going to look over this great option for a Bluetooth speaker. In fact, it's so great that it isn't even my first speaker. I have owned 2 of these so far, simply because they are just so exceptional. This is the Betron KBS08 Bluetooth speaker. Upon unboxing the speaker, you agree with a peculiar cable. A mini USB to both USB and to a headphone jack, so you don't even need Bluetooth for the speaker to work. After this, you get an instruction manual. The first thing it says is to importantly charge it for 6 hours.
6.5 hours later.
And finally, you get the speaker. The speaker comes in a couple of color options. To my surprise, some of them have a different coat of paint on. Some are metallic and others are simply glossy. If you're someone like me who is picky about colors, make sure you look into what color you may be getting. Moving on, the build quality of these speakers is exceptional for the price. The speaker is housed in a metal body, giving it a lot of robustness. To continue with the metal theme, they also have a metal grille on the top where the speaker is positioned. The only plastic on the actual speaker is down at the bottom. This is where all the UI is. Whilst not a major problem, the plastic did feel a bit loose, and obviously not as robust as the metal body counterpart. Lastly, the bottom contains a grippy surface that will stay intact on most tables reasonably well. Sadly, there was a couple of problems with my unit. The metal had strange markings, possibly alien. But that's for another video. To stand apart from other Bluetooth speakers, it has a couple of features. Firstly, the rather annoying LED lighting that shines as bright as a full moon on the top and on the body of the speaker. The lighting is fine, although there is no way of turning it off, unless you do it manually. This is definitely annoying when used at night when trying to fall asleep. This speaker also has an array of modes to listen to media through. This is useful when Bluetooth is not an option. The speaker can take auxiliary or microSD in addition to Bluetooth 3.0. Lastly, phone calls can be taken on the speaker, albeit not very well, but it is still an option with the built-in microphone available on it. The user interface on the speaker is quite expansive. From left to right you will find a off-on switch, the microphone, media controls that if held contain a secondary function, a mini USB in, an auxiliary in, and lastly a microSD slot. The most important thing in any speaker is undoubtedly the sound of it. Before I begin commenting on the sound of this, I must stress, I am in no ways comparing this to any high-end Bose speaker or JBL speaker. I am comparing it with the price in mind. Now the sound is definitely amazing. I remember buying this speaker whilst not expecting much out of it. I turn it on and play some music, and my mind is instantly blown. I have listened to a wide assortment of music on it, from heavy metal to video game soundtracks. The highs are decently good whilst the mids are great, and mainly the lows are deep and rich. An important thing to state about this speaker is that if you put a lot of instruments or a very heavy section of a song to it, it will sound cluttered. Now let's move on to the specifics of this speaker. It is 241 grams, quite hefty for a speaker of this size. It houses a 3-watt 45mm speaker. It also contains a 450mAh battery. The range is stated to be 10 meters, but I've gone significantly less. The battery life is said to be 4 hours. In my test it averaged a bit lower than that. The charge time is around 2 hours. In all, I believe that this is one of the best budget speakers. For the low price of £11.95, it can be all yours today. But seriously, I wholeheartedly recommend this speaker to anyone that doesn't want to drop a lot of money to listen to music. So go out and buy one. What are you waiting for? Go!